This week, I hunt down America's most pointless flight, watch as an entire TSA crew shows up just for me, and find out why no one actually flies where this plane is going. But first, to get there, I had to head to West Virginia, home of such greats as Country Roads, Brad Paisley, and apparently what some people call the world's most pointless flight. But of course, like any truly pointless flight, I can't fly there, I've got to drive. Welcome to Parkersburg in West Virginia. It's a small town of about 30,000 people in the north of West Virginia, and well, there ain't a lot here really, like many of these small towns. Parkersburg, however, does have an airport with a pretty substantial route network of one flight to one town, and well, let's be honest, that town isn't exactly a bustling metropolis in its own right. This is the Parkersburg Airport. It's got everything you'd expect from an airport. It's got runways, it's got a terminal building, but the one thing it doesn't have really is any flights. Well, there's like one. I had to drive 2 hours to get here, which kind of proves the point really, doesn't it? Can I just say though, what an absolutely cool terminal building this is. It's like almost a little bit like Dulles Airport in DC. It's like a 1950s kind of retro airport. It's really nice. Hey, good morning, how are you? I've already checked it online, but I'd like to get a paper one if I can, just so I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Where were you headed today?
To Beckley.
To Beckley.
I'm back, yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe one of the few people that actually does that.
No, yeah, it does not happen a lot.
Well, you know, I like to be different.
Gotcha. Coming right back.
Yeah, coming back this afternoon. So.
All right, well, there you
I'll
are.
see you again later.
See you in a couple hours.
All right, thanks a lot. See you. And I am all checked in for my flight. And unlike a lot of people, I'm not going very far today at all. I'm taking one of two non-stop jet services today between Parkersburg and the tiny town of Beckley in West Virginia. That's it. And it's got 2 flights a day on jets. We're going to do it today and figure out what it's all about. The whole reason that flights like this exist is down to the government's Essential Air Service programme, which means that airliners get big subsidies to keep small towns connected, even when hardly anyone's flying. All right, then we go through TSA, nice and easy. This is the gate area then here at Parkersburg Airport. Not very big, as you'd expect, considering it only has 2 flights a day. But both of those flights are operated by an airline called Contour, who are a kind of Part 135 operator here in the States. That means they operate a lot of these little Essential Air Service subsidised routes, including this one from Parkersburg to Beckley. It does go on to Charlotte though, and 99% of people on this flight will be connecting on to Charlotte. Barely anybody ever takes the flight that I'm doing just to Beckley and back, because, well, it ain't that far really, and it's 2 tiny towns. It's the equivalent of flying from Rotherham to Doncaster or something like that.
You're going to Beckley?
Yeah, just to Beckley and back. Yeah.
What an interesting flight.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, good morning, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, thank you.
All right, you have a great day, sir.
Thanks, you too. Thank you, see you later. So here we are then, boarding a jet for what must be one of the shortest, least used jet flights in America. Hey, good morning, how are you?
Don't get wet, too late.
Too late. This is the Embraer ERJ 140, a shrunken down version of the 145, perfect for carrying, well, not very many people. All right, then, welcome on board the 2 times daily jet service from Parkersburg to Beckley, West Virginia. And it's weird because they've only got 10 rows of seats. Usually it's a lot more densely packed than this, but if you look behind me, there's like no seats there, and the first few rows are missing as well. It's about a 40-minute ride now today down to Beckley, and then I get off there and we'll have a look around the town and see what's there before we come back later. The staff here thought it was quite funny that I was only going as far as Beckley, because apparently it's not a very popular service. About 1 person a week generally takes this flight, and today, well, that's doubled. So here I was then, the only passenger heading to another tiny town that's only a couple of hours away by road. The absurdity of this short 20-minute hop across West Virginia was starting to sink in as we blasted off into the rainy skies of Appalachia. So here's the thing with this flight then, it takes about 20 minutes to get down to Beckley, and then most people then connect on the next leg down to Charlotte in North Carolina, to then link into the whole American Airlines route network all around the States. Not many people at all take this very first hop, but it's just a tag along. They have to serve Parkersburg as part of the Essential Air Service network, but it doesn't warrant having its own flights necessarily, so they just tag it on to Beckley. Both Beckley and Parkersburg are needing to be served by the Essential Air Service, but they don't have the capacity, they don't have the requirements really to send two separate flights to each one, so they just tag it along. This is the first leg clearly, and then it continues on down to Charlotte.
So the reason that Contour removed so many seats from this flight is because of their Part 135 status. To qualify for Part 135, they can't carry more than 30 passengers, so Contour literally removed rows of seats from this Embraer 140. Instead of the usual 44, it's configured in a roomy 1-2 layout with just 30 seats, with 36 inches of pitch, and plenty of space up at the front and back. For a tiny regional jet, it actually feels, well, pretty comfortable really. The descent into Beckley is beautiful. West Virginia really earns its reputation as the mountain state, with rolling hills and valleys stretching as far as the eye can see. But in no time at all, we were beginning our descent down into the tiny town of Beckley after a flight time of only 20 minutes. Just like the approach into Charleston and Parkersburg, the landing in Beckley is absolutely beautiful. You come in over all the hills and valleys in the Appalachian Range before touching down on top of a hill. It's a bit like landing on an aircraft carrier. Beckley sees just 4 scheduled flights a day to and from Parkersburg, and then the continuation down to Charlotte and back. And here I am, the only person getting off in Beckley, which to be fair is about average because only 1 passenger a week actually flies this leg. Today, I'm it.
Good morning, how are you? I'm doing awesome, thank you. The weather's a bit nicer here than it was up there.
Oh yeah, the weather looked bad up there.
It was pretty bad.
Straight up to gate 3.
Amazing, thank you.
We'll be here in a little bit, so you're getting back on about 1 o'clock.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I'm going back up to Parkersburg later. So.
Alright, sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you. Alright then, welcome to the tiny town of Beckley in West Virginia. Again, 2 flights a day out of this airport. The one I've just got off, heading now down to Charlotte, and then of course up to Parkersburg as well. And it's quite a nice little airport really, although emphasis on the little, there isn't a lot going on here. There's certainly no like duty free and no fancy restaurants or anything like that. It's just a gate, a check-in area, and a TSA anal logic machine, and that's about it. I'm going to wait and watch the plane go, and then I've got a car rental booked to take me into the town, and we're going to see what is actually here in Beckley and what it's all about. Alright, so I've picked up my rental car, a nice little Hyundai, to take me into the town of Beckley. We're going to see exactly what's here and why it has 2 flights a day to Parkersburg. The Embraer, little Embrino's gone down there to Charlotte now, and we've got about 5 hours until my flight back up to Parkersburg, so let's go and see what's here.
And what better place to start my Beckley adventure than at the finest local establishment that I could find.
You can't beat a Cracker Barrel, can you? It's basically an American chain restaurant. They're everywhere across the South, and Americans love them because they're like a proper old-fashioned type place. Like literally, it's like going back in time when you come in here. They've got a little shop at the side of it selling tat, and they sell like proper southern-fied food. It's really, really nice, and it's all in this really sort of old-fashioned decor, but people love it. To the point where recently they had a new CEO come along, and she decided she was going to try and modernise the whole place and like come in and revamp all the restaurants and make them all really sleek and modern. And of course people hated it and they boycotted it like straight away, as people tend to do, and they were forced to sort of backtrack, and as a result wasted millions of dollars on this project that never really got off the ground. And the good news though is that we get to keep this really, really nice piece of kind of American tradition really going. It's quite nice.
Oh, this looks good, doesn't it? Gone for fried chicken with biscuits and gravy. You can't beat them. Oh, it's so good. This video is brought to you by Surfshark. Now, as you guys know, there is nothing I enjoy more in the world than surfing. I'd even go so far as to say I'm actually pretty good at it. Well, not this sort of surfing. Obviously, I'm not very good at this. It's far too cold and wet for my liking. I much prefer a different sort of surfing. Surfing the web. I'm really good at that, and I can spend hours at it. You see, thanks to Surfshark, surfing the web is a lot more pleasurable and safer too. Surfshark's a VPN that encrypts all of your data, even when I'm travelling on public airport hotspots and Wi-Fi, on planes, in hotels, you name it. Whenever I'm on public Wi-Fi, my data's safe because I'm encrypted through the Surfshark VPN. You see, a VPN encrypts your data, which means that you're not leaving anything on display for the rest of the world to see. Even when I'm not travelling though, Surfshark comes in handy because I can sit and watch TV as if I'm anywhere else in the world, which is really handy because I live here in the States. Thanks to Surfshark, I can still watch my favourite TV programmes with Susie, like Gogglebox. Super easy to install. You go on the website, you download it and install it, you sign into your account, and then you can choose whichever country you'd like to connect through. Right now, Surfshark are offering you 4 extra months completely free of charge at surfshark.com/Noel Phillips. So I'd flown in, explored Beckley thoroughly, and by thoroughly I mean the Cracker Barrel, and with nothing else to do I made the drive back to the airport for my return flight. Alright then, time to go and get checked in for my flight back up to Parkersburg, the second of 2 daily flights today from here in Beckley. What a lovely little airport this is. Beckley's terminal is, well, let's just say it's not JFK. In fact, it's so quiet that you half expect to hear your own echo. There's even a payphone, remember those? And dotted around on every bench are Bibles, just in case you'd rather pass the time in quiet reflection than on your phone. It's all wonderfully quirky in its own little way. So I've got a couple of hours until my flight, and the check-in lady very kindly said that I could come and use the pilot's lounge and sit and get some work done for a bit, which is quite nice. It's just at the back here, but we've got, look, a nice couch to sit on and a TV. Oh, I like this. I'll sit here and get a bit of work done. By the way, on days like today where it seems all I'm doing is eating, sleeping, flying and repeating, well, that's a good day to be wearing this shirt, which you can get in my merch store now at noelphillips.com, and we ship worldwide now as well, so get yourself ordered one, and for you or a friend or somebody else, or even just for yourself, and you could be wearing this drip. Never say drip again. Right, so the flight's left from Charlotte to come up here. It's about half an hour late, which is a bit of an issue for me because when I get back to Parkersburg, I've got to drive to Charleston to get my flight back to Houston because there's no other flights, clearly, out of Parkersburg. And I've got like 3 hours between flights at the original scheduled time, so who knows. We'll see when we get up there if we've got enough time to get back. I got my boarding pass time to get through security, just waiting for the law enforcement guys to get it, and then we can get through. Plane is on its way. It should be here in about 20 minutes. All right, my plane has just arrived from Charlotte and I'm about to get on it to take you back up to Parkersburg on the Embraer. It's a 145 this time, and I'm the only passenger today taking this flight. I was chatting to the staff here and they were saying that actually this leg up to Parkersburg can be a bit of a pain because there's literally usually a maximum of 1 passenger on it, if that. But they have to get the entire team of TSA here and the handlers and all the rest of it for like 1 person. And it becomes a bit of a nightmare. I can imagine that actually generally. And if they get 1 person, they're lucky. But hey, anyway, I better get myself across there because it looks like they're going to be getting me on board soon. Set, yeah. Let's do this. Thanks, you as well. Bye-bye. One advantage of being the only person flying, boarding takes about 30 seconds. Me on, doors shut, job done. I took my seat down at the back and within a couple of minutes the doors were closed and we were on our way.
from Beckley, then heading north again once more to Parkersburg, West Virginia. I'm not even going to get a chance to get up and do a loo review on this flight because it is so short and the seatbelt sign doesn't get turned off. About 20 minutes up there, I was the only passenger, which was really cool because it meant that they landed, got me on board and were airborne in a couple of minutes, meaning that they made up for like most of that hour-long delay. So you're welcome, Contour, helping your FAA passenger statistics for on-time arrivals. But in any case, it's a little bumpy as we head our way through the clouds back up to Parkersburg. Hopefully we'll make it in okay. That's my next concern because, yeah. But anyway, we'll see. In any case, we've got a short hop now back up to northern Western Virginia.
For now, this flight costs just $29 each way, a bargain really for a jet across the mountains of West Virginia. But it only survives thanks to government subsidies, and with changes on the horizon, the days of this quirky tag-on route could be numbered, which makes it feel even more surreal to be one of the handful of people ever flying it point to point. And with that, we're back on the ground at the wonderfully retro Parkersburg Airport. We took off 40 minutes late, but landed 5 minutes early on a 20-minute flight.
Thanks very much.
You're very welcome,
See
sir.
ya. Thank you. Right then, here we are then back at Parkersburg at this amazing retro terminal. How cool is this, by the way? What a nice airport. But yeah, there we go. Contour Airlines, little flight here between Parkersburg and Beckley. Might be ending soon, so make sure you get on it while you still can. You can come and visit this absolutely awesome little airport up here as well. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.